Hi, I'm Patty McGarrahan, and we're here at the Mind's Eye Show. And today I have with me Susie, and she's going to talk about dowsing rods and a bunch of a lot of energy work type of stuff. And I thank you so much for coming today, Susie.
Thank you for having me.
And Fontaine.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay.
Yep. And I do thank you for coming today. I met her on the other show that I work on, and I'm very excited that she was able to come on our show today.
Thank you, Patty.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So what got you involved in this?
We actually had some dowsers come up to our property in Vermont. We have like a hunter's camp, and my uncle had it, and we always pump the water from the brook along the side, so we got the old hand pump and everything. So we had a couple of gentlemen from the dowsers up in Vermont come out to the property, douse it. And so they're like, do you want to try it? So it was like, yes. So they have like, the apple sticks, they have, the copper wad. And I was like, wow. And after that, then I was like, And it's like, they actually wanted my son, who was 13 at the time, to stay up and study with them because it was like natural for him. And I'm like, no.
I love that. I love that.
So then I came home and started reading about it, and now for years I've been a member of the American Dowsers Society.
Nice.
We actually, another gal, we started a chapter for Rhode Island, but then she moved away, so it kind of like fell through and stuff. But I'd kind of like to get that back going again.
Nice.
And that, but I use it in all my energy work.
I got introduced to it because I did a shaman apprenticeship program.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed working with it.
Yeah. No, it's really nice. It's just like, I'm also a Reiki master teacher, and then I have an IET master teacher. And all of this comes into IET is integrated energy therapy, healing with the angels. So the angels come in as you're in a session, and they help, and they also work with you, through you. So it's very, very powerful. It's very nice.
I had a teacher that I took it at a place that wasn't very good at it.
Oh, okay.
So I was a little turned off. But then I had someone come to my shop who was excellent, and then it turned me back on. She almost seemed like she was a homeless girl teaching it, and then she wanted everybody to just work on her. So it was very odd. So anyway, I said,
yeah, something's not right.
Something's not right. And Jeremy from my shop and I decided, we're going to skip that. And then somebody begged me to have this girl come and introduce it, and it was wonderful.
Nice, good. Yeah, and that's what it is. Like sometimes it just doesn't click, or something's just, you feel off about it, and it's just a gut intuition, and so when I started with this, it was just like, oh, all right. And I'm like, so I used that, and there's so much that you can do with it that people just don't realize. It's not just, yes, you can find lost items, yes, you can find water, yes, you can move water veins, with a lot of study and everything. So it's not, you don't just jump out, but it's nice to play with energy.
Absolutely.
It really, really is. It's just a different thing to do, and you get answers, everyday answers.
Yep.
And
we actually had a woman that uses them as part of her feng shui, some of her feng shui activity as well.
Yes. Yep. I do a chakra clearing with them, and people's like, what? And I'm like, yep. And it's really funny because when somebody sees me, they're like, what is she doing? But it's just reading all the chakras, and then I'll get messages, and it'll be like about this, that, and then I'll go back and I'll double check. But we do, I teach classes on energizing water.
Oh, beautiful.
And that. So one of my teachers, which is Raymond Grace, he's got videos out and everything. If anybody wants any of the first details and everything, check him out. It's like amazing to see, because I'm like, how do we do that? But it's energizing. So it's cutting out bottles of water, where people have to have the bottles of water. You energize your own water, and people go, why would you have to do that? But if you have a well, if you have, you're drawing water from a pond, and people are like, oh, I drink bottled water, it's pure water. And I'm like, it's really not, because if you think about the journey that the water has gotten has been on to get to you, and people are like, what do you mean? And I'm like, okay, so you have the bottling plant. what's the energy like in the plant? Are they all unhappy? Are they what? I said, then you have the highway that the water gets delivered on the highway.
Right,
and you
right.
know what that is like between traffic and everything. The water absorbs that energy. And then by the time supermarket shelf, when they're stocking the shelves, what that's like. So it's like, yeah, okay. So once you energize, we have found that. So we measure the energy of the water in the bottle that I have people bring water in from their ponds, from their taps, whatever. And we measure the energy, and then we do the clearing, and then we go back and we measure the energy again.
And like, what type of a difference is it?
There's a big difference. So like sometimes like if we have the water in front of us and then we measure it, it may go out like say the energy around, which is similar to an aura.
Okay.
The energy around it would be typically like maybe a 4. I don't know.
Okay,
I'm just
okay.
going to use that for an example. So then after you do the clearing on it and you measure it, it can go out like as far as 3 feet.
Wow.
So there is a difference, and it doesn't take a long time to do it. And what happens is you can take that water and you can take a drop of that water and add it to another container that energizes that container. So it's almost like it just keeps giving and giving and giving. So there's no reason why you should have to get bottled water or whatever. And we've had people with funny tasting tap water and say what a difference.
Oh, yeah.
And
I've traveled and had that happen.
yes, exactly. That happened to me in Bimini where they did that osmosis for the water, and I'm like, oh, it smells like tar, it smells like whatever, and I'm like, wait a minute. So every container of water I had, and I'm just like, please, just because you had to shower in it and everything, and I'm like, yeah, but everybody else's, but.
Right.
So yeah,
right.
so you can do that.
So can you show the dowsing round?
Okay, so this is typical where people see L rods.
Okay.
So again, what happens with this is it's your mind, your intent, and everything. So seeing how I work with them a lot, I'll say, I'll just think to myself, and I always say a prayer before. A lot of people will question, can I, may I, should I? So if I'm going to dow something for you in the beginning, I will ask that question. May I, should I, could I? Mm-hmm. And that way there, number one, I have your permission, but number two, it just draws the energy in. So then for this, I'll say, just for today, show me my yes. For today, show me my no. But I don't have to say the just for today because this is how they do. And show me a maybe.
Oh, I like that.
Okay. So like if you're looking for something, say somebody dropped, their keys or something, you're in the lawn and everything. So you will walk around and you will say, what direction are the keys in? And then it'll point to a direction. And as you're getting closer, the rods will cross over. And then you kind of look around right in the area and that. So they find, like I said, they find a lot of water veins. They find a lot of lost items. If somebody's going to drill and they have power lines, anything like that. It's amazing. So you call up, the Dowsing Society, and they'll suggest somebody in your area that will come out if that's their specialty and stuff. So it's very, very cool. So this is like, if anybody thinks about the old hickory branch and everything that they go. So as they're walking and stuff, and as you're getting closer to the vein of water, and I don't know if it'll do it. So it literally goes down and points. So as you're walking across the field and everything, it'll just, go out. So then the other thing you can do now, so if you think, okay, is this the best vein of water? It'll tell you yes, or it'll tell you no. So if it comes up, it's like, yeah, nope, mm-mm. But then you can also say, how far do I have to drill? So is it 2 feet, 4 feet, 6 feet, 8 feet, 10 feet? And it will continue until it reaches, like, say, 100 feet down. And then you want to know, is it sustainable? Will that vein of water sustain 4 people, taking 4 showers, that type of thing, or whatever. Right. So it's funny because when my daughter was building her house, I figured just for giggles, I'm going to go out there. And I was 2 feet away from where they actually put it. And I never told anybody. After the house was built, the well was in and everything, I found the paper and I was like, oh, look, just by the way, I was 2 feet off. So am I off? No, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then we have our pendulum, which a lot of people work with. Again, yes, no, maybe. And again, it's a tool. It's just a continuation, but it's all in your intent, all in your mind.
I actually had another woman and we actually used the pendulum on a map to try to find a body, and we found a couple of bodies with it.
Because you can map dows, like if you've lost something in your house, and you can kind of get it down to which room and that type of thing. And then with the pendulum too, there are different books out that have the different charts that say, so this says medication compatibility chart. So which a lot of people give their powers to their doctors and everything, and they just say, okay. But sometimes they prescribe something that dosage may not be right for you.
Okay.
Or that may not, and before you have an allergic reaction to it or something like that, you can douse something like that. This is metals and toxicity, nutrition, food allergies.
Hold it up towards the camera with the red light on.
Yeah.
So that way you can see it better.
So,
excellent.
So there's all kinds of, a vitamin chart, essential trace mineral chart. So anything that you want to try, like, oh, I heard about this. I wonder if this is any good. Is it any good for me? So then you can douse that. So you just start out and it'll go yes, no, and then it'll say like, all of a sudden I'm on automobile. Sorry. I'm like, that's not going to help me. Wait a minute. But yes, so there's that one, and then again, this is a dowsing your health. Same thing. You can do it with a yes or no. And it'll say, what is good. Point to each of the items below and ask, is this hazard affecting my health? And so that's a big thing now. There is, again, it's like giving, your power away to the doctors and just rely on them, where it's our body, it's our gut instinct. It'll tell you, it'll give you a yes or no answer. This is my tool of trade when I'm doing a lot of my clearing. This is my bobber. And so to me, this is my yes. This is my no. This is my maybe. So as someone,
like maybe.
yeah. So as someone is like standing in front of me, I'll start with the root chakra, and I'll ask about clearing. And so if it goes in a counterclockwise, that means it's blocked. And then I'll let it do its thing. And actually, I don't think I brought it out of the bag. It makes a design, and we believe that the design is the flower of life.
Oh, okay.
With all the petals and everything. Normally I have one right here on my chart, but yeah, I mean, it's amazing the things you can do. Like I said, you can actually program stones and put them in certain areas of your house.
I do house clearings.
Yes.
So I'm forever. A lot of times I like to bring selenite, particularly, but I'll bring other stones too.
Yeah.
And sometimes when people, I went to this home, and the husband, she was having troubles letting go of some of the stuff.
Yeah.
And like, for instance, they had one thing that the gentleman's grandfather had carried out of Vietnam during the war, and it had some really tough energy.
Yes.
So we put stones and stuff because you couldn't get them to get rid of it.
Yeah.
We got them to get rid of some of the other stuff.
Yeah.
And they liked to do antique shops in some of them.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't have even bothered with it, but the granddaughter started saying, she loves her grandpa, is like her favorite person in the world.
Yeah.
And she's saying, you're the good grandpa, the other two are not. And the other two kind of came with some of the items. And so we had to do a clearing. But I brought, and I hadn't done that before. But something told me before I left to bring some stuff, some crystals and stuff, and I had them place it we placed it in very strategic positions.
Exactly, you know, and I had forgotten because it was not Spain. I forgot where he came from. And I took the class at one of the conventions, and I was like, and then like 2 years later, all of a sudden it's like, I need to find my notes on that because I need to work with that. And then like I finally found him, and I was like, oh, this is weird, and stuff. Because like, people sell things online. It's like, oh, this will protect you. And I'm like, wait a minute, we can do that with the stones, and that type of thing. And a lot of the work, number one that Raymond does is he does school clearings, town clearings, and everything like that. So I've started working with that where you're allowed to like play his DVD. So my grandkids were all going to this elementary school, and I had noticed that the principal at the time was posting a lot of Wayne Dyer, positive affirmations and everything. And I said, oh, I'm just going to try it. Like, people think I'm a little woo-woo, so I'm like, whatever, I don't care. And I was like, apologize
I can relate
to my kids.
to that.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. So I gave her the DVD, and she played it in the school. Like, she's like, I'll play it in my office, and I'll just let it, and then I would get feedback from that. And then, a couple of people are like, well, we have this and that. I'm like, just give me the address. Let me just do. So, I'm doing a couple of things, and then finally, like, I'll see them a little while. I'm like, how's things going? Okay, all right. I'm like, no, about the house. It's calmed down a lot. No. Oh, wait, didn't I just give you my address to? I'm like, yes, you did. And I'm like, okay, and stuff. So it's just like, validation, but,
Excellent.
They forget, and, but.
No, I've had a lot of people that have mentioned, even we use some of the tools that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Somebody needed a long distance clearing.
Yes.
And we used some of those tools and stayed on the phone and did it to it, and it worked. And the responses were so fantastic.
That's it. And it's funny because like people just forget of something you mentioned. It's like, oh, okay, and I'm like, okay, I just, sometimes we just need that validation that, I'm going to continue working, but, just let me know, helping, not helping, not,
Right.
So yeah. But it's an amazing, but it's all energy. It's, people will say, I'm like, it's just the energy of the earth. You're working with the energy. And as an energy healer, it's just like part of another,
Now your son, that you didn't let take that class, does he like any of this stuff?
He really doesn't. Like he doesn't. He was just kind of like, and again, he was 13 at the time. So, but my grandkids, my two older grandkids, my granddaughter came on one of the shows with me, and when she dowses, and she will actually put the pendulum up to her third eye, and she'll douse that way. Which
isn't that cute? Yeah.
I was like, what is that? So she did that. She was probably maybe 9 at the time and stuff. And I was like, holy mackerel, that's pretty cool. And actually, I think, is that Carol Gator? Yes. So she was on with Carol, and she's like, oh, that's very interesting, And then my grandson, who was a natural healer, and when he talks about stuff that he did, in school and everything, like if somebody and all this stuff, but I'm like, oh, he's such an empath, and very, very cool. Very cool.
Oh, that is excellent.
Yeah.
So, the grandkids, they're sending them down here to help.
Exactly.
And they're pretty incredible.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
They just know what to do, and
that's it. You don't really have to. No, like I'll do it, and I'm like, okay. They all have their rods and everything, and I once had a friend that got him a set of rods, and got him a pendulum, and he says, oh, he was up in Vermont, and he's a hunter. I dowsed to see which tree stand I should go to every year. I'm like, I really don't want to know that, because I'm thinking, poor Bambi, and stuff like that. But I'm like, whatever you make work for you.
I'm laughing because you made me think. I remember taking the grandkids to see Bambi, and I cried so hard that a granddaughter, 7 years old, climbed behind me and started rubbing my shoulders, and I'm like, it's pretty bad when the kids have to come.
I know, yep. It's like, oh, we just feel that. It's just
The energy, the other thing that I'm finding, and I was talking to somebody about it, and I found this with my grandson, but I was talking to different people, these kids that are coming to us now, and we get blessed with them being grandchildren.
Yes.
They're so fabulous with kids with disabilities.
Oh, they
and
are.
all,
Yes.
autistic kids and stuff.
Oh, yes.
It's so beautiful to watch how they were.
It is.
And I saw how my grandson was with one of them. We were down Bonnet Shores.
Yeah.
And I was with a friend, and we were down at Bonnet Shores. Yeah. And a friend of hers came with the son and daughter.
Oh, okay.
The son ended up going off completely on his own. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, my grandson came and saw that he was alone and didn't want him to be, showed him how they were playing stuff. And it's almost like they use some of these things without even needing them.
Exactly.
Without even needing them. And
yes.
on a lot of levels, he's at that 13 years old, so he's shutting off a few things because he will for a little while, you know. But the stuff with the children, and we went to another one, and I know the kid was like at least spectrum, and he was having troubles learning how to swim, and it was bothering him because the younger sister was picking it up.
Yes.
So my grandson came in and taught the kid how to swim.
Oh, how sweet!
It was just so beautiful because and the guy came. I get a lot of thank yous because he's so good with that.
Yeah.
And sometimes he's 13 and he can have an attitude. Don't get me wrong.
Exactly. But there's that side of them that
there's something that it's almost like your granddaughter did in a past life that she just knew
and I was
to connect it to that.
That
is that stuff. That stuff blows me away.
Exactly, because I'm like, she has never seen me do that, that type of thing. But nope, they each had their set, and I'm like, all right, however you want to, work with them, let me know, and when you're ready again, let me know, and just
that is
don't
perfect,
push it.
Tom.
But but they
perfect.
laugh. Oh yeah.
No, that is excellent.
Yeah.
So this stuff is absolutely fabulous. But I know you do a lot of other things too. So I just wanted you to mention some of the other stuff that you do.
Yeah. So like I said,
this stuff is that I love it because it's different.
It's different. It just pulls everything together. Because like even when I did Reiki, I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it, I understand it.
And intention is so much
that
when you're doing Reiki, even if you didn't have the pendulum or the dowsing rod, you could call it in.
And that's it. Exactly. Boom, you just do that body scan and you just feel the energy and everything.
Because I always say the more tools in your toolbox, the better you are.
Oh, exactly. And even at church, I belong to the First Spiritualist Church of Brockton and Rehoboth. And so we just introduced the healing chairs back in since COVID. And people right away, the response is wonderful. And, like even the validation and that people, and I'm like,
I didn't know it had just come back because of the services that I've done. Now that I'm not doing them online.
Exactly.
The one that I've done, they've had the healing. It's absolutely beautiful.
Onset has always had the healing chairs as far as I know, during COVID and everything like that. But like with us, we had to adhere to everything. So we're just slowly, building everything back up and again. Welcoming. Oh, it's great. It's great.
Yeah. So what else have you used the pendulum for, too?
For different classes, like I said, and then even just yes and no questions for the day. Like if something comes up and it's like, oh, do you think I should do this, or what do you think, or whatever. And if you're on the fence about it, it's just like yes, no, and. Should I bring my umbrella? Should I, because I am not a weather person. I don't watch the weather. I will walk out, I went to see the elephants with my grandson, and it was nice, and then it poured.
Yeah. Oh, you did get to see the elephants. I asked him one day, and he wasn't in the mood that day. Wow. And then I forgot about it. Yeah. And then it was over.
Yeah. They're in New York City now.
He wanted to do something that involved a couple of his friends. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But oh my God, I was like, they did look beautiful.
They were. Yep. I went a second time. It was a beautiful day. Parked at Salve Regina, and boom, there they were.
Nice.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
Excellent.
So that was nice. Yeah. Yeah.
So, so you teach classes?
I teach classes. So we offer classes through the church and everything, and we do like a chakra clearing. energizing your life, to change different energy, whether it's in your
beautiful,
home,
yeah.
whether it's, so I offer that. That's a quick class. Energizing water. And then I haven't done the stone one yet with everybody from church, but I'm looking forward to doing
that. Yes. Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Yes.
So. But yeah.
No, the classes and everything. That sounds wonderful.
Yep.
The dowsing, for some reason, I was just so amazed because I didn't know what they were when the shaman and all the movement on it was like off the charts, right off the wall, right away.
Yep.
And it was just, and like I said, the pendulum. I didn't think it was. One of my students said, "I wonder if we used it on the pendulum on a map."
Yes. No, exactly, because that's map dowsing.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
And people looking to buy a house, if they have. Say even they have it down to 3 locations, and then they can just douse that, get a yes or no answer. Is this?
Mm-hmm.
People are like, well, but I'm like, again, it's your intent.
And if not, things usually happen to get you in the right house.
Exactly.
I had to laugh. I put a down payment on a house that it was on the condition of the sale of my house, but I put a down payment on a house. And I realized afterwards, now I was in my 20s as well, do you know what I mean?
Yep.
But earlier 20s, and I turned around and I went, oh my God, afterwards we didn't get the house because everything was all set, but it was on condition of the sale. That sale didn't go through, and 3 minutes later it sold again, but the next person in line got it. And I laughed because I said I was buying that house. It had foil, all this foil stuff, wallpaper, and it had like a bar down there that was just like, it looked like a disco room.
Oh my gosh.
And I turned around and I said, oh my God, I'm having a baby. It's disco rooms and this is not what was.
We're back in the 60s and 70s,
But it was incredible because when I opened the door to the house that I lived in, I turned around and I said to my husband, give full price. They'll be insulted if you don't give full price.
Yeah.
And I wish I knew about all this stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
My parents bought the last house that they bought that they stayed in forever had horrible energy, and I later found out the couple that built it were alcoholics and very violent. If you took down paneling, you found holes and stuff like that. The second people that moved in, they had a verbally abusive alcoholic.
Exactly.
So my parents were not alcoholics and they were not violent or anything. So it affected their health.
Exactly.
And my brother and I, it was a beautiful home in a beautiful neighborhood. We couldn't get out of Dodge fast enough.
And that's what happens. People don't realize that energy is in that house. And then that energy has to be cleared.
And the work that you're talking about is a beautiful
the couple separated, whether they, like you said, they were abusive.
And it was actually that guy, he had gotten his act together and was doing much better. Before we run out of time, I just want to say, how can people get a hold of you?
I keep changing my, Facebook. I keep changing my email address. The one that I have right now is Dolphin, DOLPHIN _ Spirit, SPIRIT.
I like it.
The 1 at outlook.com.
Okay, and it's under Susie?
Yes. So the Facebook page is Susie Fontaine.
Oh, I'm glad you added that. Yeah,
it's like the high school thing, that they still have my maiden name in it. Yes.
So that's great.
Even the church. If you look at something on the Brockton Church.
Excellent. And if you have troubles getting a hold of you, they can always get a hold of me too.
Yes, exactly.
So
yes.
I absolutely loved having you today.
Thank you for asking me.
Yes, and I'm going to go visit her church soon. We met on the set of a totally different show.
For another show, and here we are.
Here we are again. And I just thank you so
that.
much. Yes.
Yeah, because like a lot of people want to know, and they want to know about classes and everything.
Excellent.
Good.
Excellent. Great. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
So I think we're on the